Hey everybody, this is Peter Scove of Music is a Journey. What the heck? I'm in a drum room, in a music room. So what happened was, Friday mornings I work at a kindergarten and I showed up for work this morning and saw there were no classes. And they showed me the schedule and true enough, there were no classes. So what do I do when I have no classes? Well, the first thing I do is go across the street to the shopping plaza with community center and I ask, is the music room available? Do I play the drums? No, this is only my second time, but here's a clip of what I was doing, goofing around before I started this. Okay, so I have a hard time keeping a regular rhythm. I know that, and I have no instruction. I have probably no coordination. I think I do a lot better on air drums while listening to music. Anyway, let me put these sticks down again here. So, there are a couple of things I wanted to do today. First of all, I want to show you some Gatefold CDs of the Japanese pop-punk band Shonen Knife. So this goes back to a thread that was started by On My Turntable a couple of weeks back, and he asked us to talk about female artists, and we had to include at least one we'd seen live. And I made my video based entirely on people I'd seen live because it was just easier that way, I thought. And one of the groups I saw live back in 97, 98 was Shonen Knife when they came to Vancouver, touring for the release of their new album, Brand New Knife. A couple of years after that though, one of the original founding members, Michie Nakatani, she left the band, and the album that came out after that, Strawberry Sound, just was kind of a disappointment for me. Actually, it was a disappointment, and I eventually sold it. And I just became, turned off because it was just the Yamano sisters, Naoko and Atsuko, which was fine. It's just I really liked Michie's contribution to the band. She was the lead vocalist as well, doing lead vocals on a couple of songs usually. She could harmonize her vocals with Naoko's, and if you know Shonen Knife, they aren't like the strongest of players, especially the early stuff. It's pretty choppy, but it has its charm. And they're not the most talented of singers either, but once again, they have their charm. But I found that as the years went by and their playing seemed to get a little bit better and a little bit more professional, I really liked it when they harmonized their vocals. So anyway, Michie left the band. It was just the two Yamano sisters. I didn't like the Strawberry Sound album, and then I didn't buy any more Shonen Knife albums. But recently, thanks to the On My Turntable thread, I listened to Shonen Knife again for the first time in probably like 20 years, and I really liked the album. So I started looking into what they'd been doing recently, and I found I like what they've been doing since then. So I've been picking up the albums, and they had a bunch of albums. Actually, they've been with a label in Japan called P-Vine. And since they've been with P-Vine, they've been releasing their CDs as a gatefold. Now, I only just found out about this recently, and at first I thought it was just one or two, but as it turns out, it's a lot of them. And I don't know how many there are, but these are the ones I have. So we're going to start off. I'd like to show them to you here, but I don't have them with me. And I don't want to show them in a video at home because it's really sweaty and hot in the room where I record my videos now. There's no air conditioning. And I don't want to be opening up the CDs, and they come with posters. I don't want to take that out with sweaty hands. So I'm telling you about it now, and I'm going to show you a video over top of this as I speak. So the first album to have this gatefold was Fun 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 in 2007, and this featured Naoko and Atsuko Yamano. After bassist Michie Nakatani left, drummer Atsuko also took over on the bass. So we had Atsuko doing bass and drums, and Naoko doing guitars and vocals. Atsuko also doing backing vocals. However, I don't have that album and I can't find it. It seems to be very difficult to get a hold of. The international releases were just a regular jewel case CD, so if I want the gatefold, I have to hunt it down in Japan. So the earliest of these albums that I have then is one I just got the other day. This is called Supergroup, and it's from 2008, released on P-Vine in Japan. This is actually the first album without Atsuko in the band. She left to go live in Los Angeles. So that left us with Naoko Yamano, the sole founding member, left. So we got in Ritsuko Taneda doing bass and backing vocals, and Etsuko Nakanishi drums and backing vocals. Actually, Etsuko was on the Fun 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 album. Here is the Gatefold CD. This is how it looks when it opens up. And then here is the poster. Take that out and you can see the poster here. Kind of hard to see with the creases in it, but that's the basic idea. So you get the poster, the gatefold, and on the back is the lyrics. Okay, so after that, the next album is called Free Time, and again, it's Naoko Yamano, Etsuko Nakanishi, and Ritsuko Taneda in the band, and this again was also released on P-Vine. It's from 2009. So here you can see, here's the poster inside. Okay, actually now we see a change in drummer. It is not Etsuko Nakanishi on drums anymore. It is now Emi Morimoto on drums. And so she's with the band for the next album, Pop Tune, released in 2012. I really like this album cover the best out of all of them so far. It's very stylish, kind of cool looking. And here's the poster inside. And for this album, we have Naoko Yamano guitars and vocals, Ritsuko Taneda bass and backing vocals, and Emi Morimoto on drums and backing vocals. After that, we go to their 2014 album, Overdrive. Same lineup. This is the Japanese cover. Often their albums were released with different color patterns or sometimes even a different cover altogether internationally. So this is the Japanese one. Of course, the international ones were regular jewel case, not a gatefold. And here is the poster inside for Overdrive. This album was supposed to see Shonen Knife going in a more 70s hard rock inspired direction. And yeah, there's a song that sounds a bit like a Thin Lizzy song, and there's a song that sounds like it could have been slightly inspired by Black Sabbath, but it is still more or less Shonen Knife's pop punk sound, in spite of what they are saying. After Overdrive, we see the return of Atsuko Yamano, this time on bass, keeping the bass position. She gave up the drums, I guess, and the two members who were with Naoko during this time, they left, and now they get Risa Kawano in on drums. And this lineup, Risa Kawano on drums, Atsuko Yamano on bass, backing vocals, Risa also backing vocals, and Naoko Yamano guitars and vocals. That's the lineup for the last three albums. And this one here, Adventure from 2016, that is the latest album I have. There have been two more since then. I like this band's lineup, I like the sound, but I do like what they were doing before in the interim when Atsuko was not in the band. One of the reviews for the album Supergroup, actually two reviews on Amazon from Japanese people, gave it 1 star, and one of them said, "This is not Shonen Knife, I threw this in the garbage," and another person said, "One song was okay, and the other song not bad, but the rest of it, meh." Basically, that was the reaction. But as far as I'm concerned, all of these albums keep up that Shonen Knife sound that we've been hearing since the end of the 90s, basically. So I'm quite satisfied with them. All right, I'm back here at home now, and this is for the next part of this video is just a story I want to tell, a kind of a humorous story, if you will. So as I mentioned previously, Alex at Beer and Vinyl held a contest thread, and wow, I won. And very kindly, he was offering $50 for Amazon, so that was really great because there were some albums I wanted to get from Amazon.com that were not available in Japan. But for me to buy them from Japan in Japanese yen, the exchange rate is deplorable right now. It's shocking. So it would have cost me a lot in Japanese yen in order to order those albums from the US, and then the shipping cost as well. Well, Amazon's shipping is actually pretty reasonable, so that was actually good. But you know, for Alex to give me money on the Amazon account meant that I could pay US dollars for US prices, and that was really, really a big help. So anyway, I ordered 3 albums, and one of them was 5440's album Since When, and that came through no problem, so that was all great. Then another one I ordered was 5450's, one of their, I think their biggest selling album, Dear Dear, from 1992. And a few days after I placed the order, I got a message saying your order has been cancelled. Didn't give any reason why, like if it was out of stock or whatever. They just said your order has been cancelled. Didn't even like give me the option to try to reorder or something, right? It was, that's it, you're done. So anyway, I found it again. This time, I think it's a used copy, but it's in very good condition. So I ordered that and I got it. Yay. And then the third item I ordered was one I'd have been sitting around, kept in my Amazon shopping cart for a couple of years, and that is Manila Road's 1982 album, Metal. This is not the original album cover. This is, I guess, the cover that was for a reissue CD from 2013. So, I ordered it, and when the order arrived and I opened it, I actually had this inside. Now, I have no idea who this band is. Never heard of them. I had no idea what the music was like. I did check it out on YouTube, and it's a kind of stoner rock, and some slightly extended pieces, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes long, and it was okay. If I had been a little bit more into that at the moment, I probably would have decided to keep it. However, that wasn't where my interest was, and so I soon applied to return it. Now, if you want to return something at Amazon.com and you just follow the process, you know, what is the item you need help with? This one. What's the problem? You want to return it. Reason for returning it. Received the wrong item. Very quickly, you get all the details. You know, here's what you have to do. Print out this waybill thing, put one inside the envelope, stick one on the outside, and you can arrange, like, how do you want to do it? Do you want to have DHL come pick it up? Do you want to drop it off somewhere? Or do you want to arrange to send it back your own way? So I just thought I'll just arrange to have DHL come and pick it up. The problem is that I decided to have them pick it up from my workplace, and I'm actually only at my workplace and available for this kind of thing once a week in about a 2 or 3 hour gap. Other days of the week, I'm not at that workplace for very long, or I'm not there at all. And the one day that I am there for a long time, I am constantly busy, so I cannot be available if somebody comes to pick up the item. So it had to be Tuesday. And what happened was, on that Tuesday morning, something changed in my schedule and I wasn't going to be there. So I had to try to cancel it, which was not an easy thing to do, but finally I just called the number at DHL and I told them I need to cancel this pickup, and they took care of that for me. So that was great. In the meantime, Amazon had arranged to send the correct item to me, and it did finally arrive. As you can see, I have it here. However, I was really surprised because what I received was this. That's right. This CD was shipped from the United States to Japan in shrink wrap with a waybill sticker stuck to it. Have you ever seen that before? I mean, in all the times, what have I been ordering online now for about 20 years? I've never seen that. I've seen people put a CD in an envelope with no padding and no cardboard. I've seen, well, that's probably the worst. That's the worst I've ever seen, is just in an envelope. But that's actually quite sufficient to protect it from certain amounts of damage. This one here, well, let me show you the pictures. Here's how it looked. The jewel case cracked in several places, front and back, and inside, little pins inside, all of them broken. Fortunately, the paper material and the CD itself were fine. So if it's just replacing a jewel case, I can do that myself. It's just, you know, it does actually cost a little bit. So I was really disappointed with this service from Amazon. I mean, first of all, okay, the wrong item can be sent, but I mean, I ordered a band whose name started with M, and they sent me a CD from a completely different part of the alphabet. And what gives with that? And when I asked them to replace it, well, they did, but it's like they just pulled it off the shelf and slapped a sticker on and said, oh, what, you got the wrong item? You want the right one? Fine, here it is, take it. And I felt that is not the Amazon I'm used to dealing with. Mind you, most of my dealings with Amazon is Amazon Japan, and I have never had a problem or a complaint with them. Anytime there has been any kind of just issue coming up with something, I can usually contact customer service like directly. I can send a message and somebody replies, usually within 2 or 3 hours. You know, if it's late at night, next morning the reply is there. And the problem is solved. And it's it's just always been so good, and packages always come in sealed properly. So I'm used to Amazon Japan's service, which is really, really good. This was really shocking. So I wanted to tell Amazon.com, I am really not happy with the way you guys ship this CD. I mean, you're taking a big risk throwing a CD in the mail in that condition. And there was only one left in stock. So what happens if it gets lost or damaged or stolen? Then what? Then we just have to cancel it and I don't get the order? Stupid. So I wanted to somehow tell them that, but that was impossible. When I went to contact us, what are you having problems with? Is it one of these orders? Well, yes, it's a problem with this one. What seems to be the problem? It's arriving late, there are parts missing. What is the problem? Okay, well the problem is that you guys did a really crappy shipping job, but I can't find out how to do that, to tell them about that. There was no way to actually if you start a chat, it's a bot. And the bot chat just goes in circles. It'll just tell you, what do you want? Is it about a return item? Okay, and there you go, you're off to returns again. No, it's not, and you don't need to return it. I don't need to return it. I don't even need a refund or anything like that. I just want to tell them, you did a crappy job. Come on, Amazon, do better. If you're out for customer satisfaction, I don't feel satisfied because first I got the wrong item, and then when I got the right item, it was just sent to me like, who cares? Shut up and take your fucking order. Like, that's how I felt it was. Like, nobody even bothered to try to protect the CD on its way over from the US to Japan. And there's no way. I just kept trying different avenues on their website and it just kept bringing me back to the returns again. Could never actually get in touch with a customer service representative or even just leave a comment somewhere. So finally I thought, that's it. I'm going to write a product review and I'm going to leave my complaint there. So I wrote the review and I said, yeah, the album is really good. I'm very glad to have it. It's really cool to hear this early American style heavy metal from the early 80s. But I'm really disappointed with the shipping, and I put in 5 pictures showing all the damage and how it was sent and everything. The problem is that in the title I said it's a great album, but Amazon's shipping method sucked. And so in a couple of days later, I got email from Amazon saying, your review couldn't be accepted. You need to edit it. So I thought, fine, I'll just edit the title then. But when I went to the edit button, it just took me to a blank form and I had to start typing everything all over again, which I didn't have time for. So in that very humorous, funny story about dealing with Amazon.com, I'm really disappointed in them. They are not doing a very good job. Okay, the last thing I want to say is just the purchasing department really needs to be shut down now because our cat, one of our cats anyway, you've seen him in previous videos, he had some kind of growth behind his ear. And on Monday we took him into the vet to have a look at it and have some blood tests and so on. And he's fine, there was nothing serious, nothing life-threatening, but that growth was getting bigger and bigger. And the vet said it's benign, but if it keeps growing, it's going to start interfering with his usual life. Like if he wants to scratch his ear or something, there's going to be this big bubble sitting up here. So it's best to just have it removed. So he told us how much the operation would be. My wife told me, and it was like she already paid 17,000 yen for the checkup and the blood test and everything and the diagnosis. And 17,000 yen, that is pretty much our weekly grocery bill, maybe slightly less than that. So that was pretty shocking. Plus the operation was said to be, it was going to be 40,000 yen. And that's, along with the previous one, that would have been just a little more than half of our monthly expenses for food and cleaning supplies, right? So it was like, okay, well, I'm not really prepared to have this big extra expense, but I don't want to keep putting off having the cat's operation because if you keep putting it off, there will be other reasons not to have it. So let's just get it over with. And we did. He went into the vets on Tuesday. He came back on Wednesday with a big scar all the way down the ear to his chin. And he's not happy about the medication he has to take, I'll tell you that. But in the end, the operation actually ended up costing a lot more because of antibiotics and whatever. And so the total comes out to about 82,000 for the operation and what my wife already paid previously. So that is getting very close to a month's worth of groceries and cleaning supplies. So, yeah, I ordered some Shonen Knife albums there the day before. It was like the day before we knew about this operation was necessary, and it was like, these are really hard to get albums. There's like only one seller selling this one, and one seller selling that one, and like all of them was just only one person selling them. And it was used in very good condition, like extremely good condition, and one of them was new. So I thought, heck with it, I'm ordering them. And then like a day later, it's like, oh, you have to pay all this money. And then a day after that, you have to pay even more money. It's like, oh, well, anyway, I'm glad I ordered them, because there's nothing worse than having that only one available sitting on standby in your shopping cart for months and months, and then you think, now I'm going to get it, and it's gone. So I'm glad I did it, but I've got to stop looking for new things, because if I look for new things, I'm going to find new things. So yeah, we really got to shut down the purchasing department. That means Deep Purple's new album is going to have to wait. Anyway, everyone, that's getting to be a long video, so thank you so much for watching, and I am going to do a deep dive into the history of Kitty. Oh, by the way, might as well open this. This came today from Yahoo Auction. I'm going to get some scissors. Yahoo Auction. So yeah, this is also one of the last things. I put a bid on it last week. The auction ended. Nobody else was bidding on it. It became mine, and it arrived in the mail today because Manila Road's metal album inspired me to look into some of these early American power metal albums from the 80s. And although I had a couple, maybe 3 or 4, that were very important for the video idea I had, there were a couple I didn't have, and I decided to try to get them. So here we go. Manowar Battle Hymns, the debut album by the band going back to 1982. I actually have never had a Manowar album before, and maybe this is not the best one to start with, but for my video idea, this is the one that I needed. Got it for a very good price, used in great condition. So yeah, looks fine. Ooh, basically like new. Whoever had this barely touched it. Cool. Okay, so that's also a plan coming up for sometime during the summer here. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. As I was trying to say, is going to be a deep dive into the history of the band Kitty, celebrating also their new release that just came out. I thought I'd quickly put it up and show you, but it's back here somewhere. I'm not going to take the time for it. You'll see it in the next video. Thanks, everyone. That's it. Really, I'm going now. Really, serious. I promise. I'm leaving now.